I got to say, I model my entire career after Earl Canonbear, and how appropriate. How appropriate. Here's Liza.
Thank you, Kevin. Good morning, everybody. Eugene Levy is here. Good morning.
Now that's coffee.
It's not bad, huh?
Yes, good morning.
Whatever you need, we will supply for you. Thanks for getting up early, by the way.
I didn't realize Earl was such a role model.
Well, yeah, a lot of the characters are. Yesterday,
Yeah.
it was unbelievable when we started talking about you coming in today. Everybody was sitting around for at least an hour talking about SCTV and their favorite characters and just going on and on about who they love the best and doing impersonations. And so I have
You know,
to
it's
ask,
pretty amazing that 20 years after the fact, I think the show went off the air in 1984. I don't want to date myself. But, and I don't think the show's been off the air one day in this country since we started the show in 1976.
And everybody, I think, regards it now as you guys are one of the funniest groups of people ever on television. It was incredible. Did you know how special that show was and how special that group was?
Oh, I knew it, but I don't think
I don't
think anybody else did. You know, I had to keep reminding people. No, we were just we were seven people kind of going in doing a job. The great thing about doing it in Toronto was that we'd kind of get up, we'd go to work, we'd come home, we'd have dinner. We had no idea people were actually watching this thing. You know.
How did you all come together? Did you all know each other? And
most of us came out of the Second City Theater.
So you'd known each
So
other.
we had worked together for years before we actually started the television show.
So I have to ask you about a few characters and where they came from. I love, and our producer Bud loves, Sid Dithers.
Sid Dithers, yes.
Fantastic.
So how did you came? You drove and did you flew?
I didn't want to ask you to do it, but you did it. Thank you.
Yes.
So funny. Where did he come from?
Well, in our first season, we did a scene called A Match Unto My Feet. There used to be a kind of a show on Sunday mornings called Lamp Unto My Feet, and our version was Match Unto My Feet. And it was about a Passover, as a kind of covering a Passover service at the Dithers household. So that was the first time I did the character, and the scene took a long time, 5 hours to do. And I noticed that when I looked at the monitor that at the end of the taping session, I was a lot lower in my seat. I was slunk a lot lower in my seat than I was
looked like he was
when
like
I
5 feet
started
tall.
the scene. And I thought, no, there's a funny look. So that kind of became that was the genesis.
And it just otherwise comes out of your imagination.
Yes, and my mouth.
And here's another thing that I've wondered. Mel's Rock Pile, which is another one of my
Rock and
favorites,
Mel Slurp.
seems vaguely familiar when I watch Boogie here on City TV. Did they have anything to do with each other?
Gee, you know what? I don't even know. I can't remember when Boogie came on the air,
It was
if
in
anybody
the 70s,
knows. Really?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't think that was modeled after anybody in particular.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure there's people that are feeling a lot better about that now here at the station. But I think the character just was kind of one of those things. I had a lot of hair back then, and I could only do so much with it. So Bobby Bittman, he had his hair rolled back like this. Earl Canonbear had his hair rolled back like this, but with glasses. Rock and Mel had his hair over to this side with a part.
Rock and Mel.
And, and that's all I could do at the time.
Yeah.
We didn't have wigs.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite? Favorite character?
Well, I think they were all kind of favorites. Bittman was kind of funny. Earl was always a kind of a heartwarming favorite, and Sid Dithers, but they were all fun to do for different reasons.
Then another group that you've been together with that is fantastic is the group that did Waiting for Guffman and Best in Show.
Yes, with Chris Guest, and that's also an unbelievable group of people, great improvisational artists and really good actors, which is the fine line in those films. We just finished our third in a series.
Yeah, what's the third one going to be?
Well, it's about the world of folk music, and
Really?
it's called A Mighty Wind, and probably won't be out till the spring.
And what's your character in that one?
Well, it's a very bizarre, I'm like, in a strange way, like the Ozzy Osbourne of the folk world.
Oh, very good.
It's a very bizarre thing for me.
I always wonder with people who can make people laugh when they knew they were funny. What did you know one day? Did it strike you think, I'm kind of funny. I could do this.
I never, and still don't actually believe I'm that funny, but I think there was kind of an epiphany when I was a teenager, and something happened at a house party, and I kind of did some weird thing with a chair, some kind of improv thing at the end of the night, uncharacteristic of me. And people started laughing and pointing, going, oh, ho, 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 ho. At the next party, people were saying, oh, did you see what Levy did at the thing last week? That was really funny. And that was the first time I realized people were looking at me as, watch out for this guy. He's, you know, he's kind of funny. So I kind of played into that. It was a nice way of getting attention.
What was your first job? Like first on air, or first in front of an audience performing?
In front of an audience, well, I mean, you mean where I made money, professional job? I would say probably, well, I'd like to say Cannibal Girls, which this station runs a little too much for my liking.
Do they? I haven't seen it yet.
Because there was a salary, but I don't think I ever received it. It was all kind of deferred. It was one of those things, you know?
And is that what it sounds like it's about? Cannibal Girls?
Well, let's put it this way. The cut line on the poster was, "These girls eat men."
Oh.
Yeah. And then a warning bell would go off when a scary part of the movie would come up. You know, that was the gimmick
to warn the audience.
To warn the audience that a scary scene was coming up. But the first paying job probably was like, you know, Godspell back in '72.
And the American Pie movies, when you first received that script, do you have a little trepidation thinking, you know, I don't know if the Mating with the Pie movie is the one for me?
You know, funny you should ask, because this actually ties in with why I'm actually here. I read the script. It was shortly after I decided to get a manager. You know, went all these years without having a manager. So I said, well, okay, now I'm going to start taking this acting thing a bit more seriously. I got a manager and stuff. And shortly after that, I got this script for American Pie, but it wasn't called American Pie then. It was called East Great Falls High. And I get this thing, and there's like, you know, there's no stars. Nobody I know that's in it. Nobody I know is directing it. You know, in the first 20 pages, you know, there's a guy
crazy.
that I walk in on my son in the bedroom. I walk in on my son in the kitchen. There's a party scene where somebody's using a manual. There's another scene where there's, you know, somebody with a glass of beer and somebody drinking it. And I said, okay, thanks. I think I'll take a pass. My manager kept calling me saying, please take a meeting with these guys. Please take a meeting. Please take a meeting. Please take a meeting. I took the meeting, fell in love with Paul and Chris Weitz, who were great guys. They allowed me to change the part, do what I wanted to do, and the rest is history.
And now there's going to be a third.
Yeah.
Now, you were mentioning why one of the reasons you're here, Hollywood, how to get...
Yeah, I'm hosting this thing on the 28th of September at Hart House, University of Toronto, called Hollywood, How to Get There From Here. And it's a great one-day tutorial for the kind of creative community here in Toronto, for up-and-coming actors, writers, directors. And this is a comprehensive one-day session with the top kind of casting director from the States will be coming in, talking about what they look for at auditions, what you have to do. A U.S. Immigration attorney, my immigration attorney, as it turns out, but he works for a lot of studios and networks. We'll be talking about what you have to do to get a visa, all the process you have to do.
It's remarkably hard to have all that happen.
You can't do it on your own.
No.
You know, it's really hard to do on your own. And believe me, I remember what it was like going down there, trying to walk into an agent's office and get an agent, and it just wasn't happening. And at this tutorial on the 28th, you know, you have some top people, a manager, about the pros and cons of getting management, and agents will tell you what it is they're looking for as well.
And there are so many people in the business that just head down there. Just jump in the car, get on a plane.
Well, you know,
there's so much involved.
Right. Well, what this will do is this will let you know whether you want to spend the $3,000 and fly the 3,000 miles.
Yeah, exactly.
To get down there.
How long ago was it you went? You still live in Toronto, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Spend most of your time in LA, though?
I've been down there quite a bit the last couple of years, yeah.
Yeah. It seems like, I guess, Canadians, we have so many talented people here, but in the end, the States is kind of...
Well, this is about, it's about people going down there who want to compete. This is not about, like, saying, you know, there's nothing to do here in Canada, so go to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
This is for people who actually want to compete in the big marketplace, who feel they want to compete with the best. And also, you know, listen, there's a lot of stuff being done down there. There's 200 pilots being done every year. You can't, you know, you can't compete with that here. So if that's what you're looking for, this is vital information for going down there. And if you're not thinking of going down there, this is great information just to learn about your business and what it is people look for, what agents look for, what casting directors look for, how to audition, this is, it's really great stuff, and I'm kind of glad to be a part of it and feel like I'm giving something back.
And we have all the information on the BT hotline after 10 a.m. if you're interested. Eugene Levy, thank you so much for being here and getting up early. Thanks. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Thank you so much.
Please be seated. Please.